Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Esther Akanj, and I'm an academic trainer with the Center for Teaching and Learning. Today's session is titled Blogs, What Are They and How Can I Create One? With academic trainer Jenna Johnson. Thank you for being here today with us. Just a couple of housekeeping items before the presentation. I'm recording the webinar and the video will be posted on the Center for Teaching and Learning LibGuides webinar page within 24 hours. If you have questions throughout today's session, you can type them into the Q&A feature located at the bottom of the Zoom window. The chat feature is open for dialogue and conversation. If you would like everyone to see your comments, please select everyone. But be sure to use the Q&A forum to ask your questions to our presenter. In addition, if you would like to have subtitles, select the live transcript CC button at the bottom and click on show subtitles. We welcome all questions, so please don't be shy. With that, I will turn it over to Jenna Johnson. I forgot to mention also, okay, Jenna's on. Throughout her presentation, if you so happen to see a picture, just know she's dealing with some technical issues. So just bear with her as she deals with that, okay? Take it away, Jenna.
Thank you, Esther. I do sincerely apologize. I am having some internet trouble. So I will try to be on as much as possible, but if I see something happen or if I'm freezing, I'm going to go ahead and stop my video. As Esther said, my name is Jenna Johnson. I am also an academic trainer in the Center for Teaching and Learning. And today we are going to talk about blogs. So let me share my screen. And let's get this started. Okay, so blogs, what are they and how do I create one? Those are both very good questions. More than likely, you have an assignment that requires you to create a blog, but I know some people don't even know what a blog is. They don't know where to begin. What I'm hoping for is that by the time this informational webinar is done, you'll feel comfortable with blogs. You'll feel comfortable with choosing the platform for your blog. So that's really what we're trying to get out of this. I want you to know what it is. I want you to know, where to begin, and I want you to be able to choose a site for your blog. So our agenda is we're going to go ahead and define the blog. We're going to identify uses for a blog. I want to make sure that everyone understands to confirm the assignment directions. Research current blogs. Choose a blog site and your overview of options. Domain considerations, that's important. If you plan to continue to blog after your assignment is done. And then tips for beginners. Okay. So your assignment is requiring you to create a blog. Very first thing, I want to make sure everyone knows, do not panic. If you don't know what a blog is, it can be scary. I totally understand that. But don't panic. Just read through your assignment instructions and then get started. So let's talk about what a blog is. You can see on the screen here, we've got some of the definitions. Basically, the term itself, blog, is just shortened version of weblog. Instead of saying weblog, we just call it a blog. And it's referring to websites with like an ongoing chronicle of information. A lot of times they're written in a diary format, kind of like a journal. And they present an individual's thoughts and perspective about a particular topic. A lot of blogs are written to help other people who are experiencing something similar or, the same situation that the blogger has gone through. And so bloggers will write different things in order to help other people in addressing those issues for them. So one big thing here that I just want to talk about first, because we can talk about blogs all day long, but the one big thing that you want to do is confirm your assignment requirements. Now, I have seen occasionally where, a faculty member will put some more directions. Maybe they put it in their welcome letter. Maybe they have, a news item in their course itself that kind of helps get you started or outline some specifics that they want to see in your blog assignment. So number one, read through the assignment requirements. Make sure that you pay attention to, anything as it relates to where they want you to post it, any kind of, writing style. Maybe they want it to be more of a personal, kind of like a journal type. Maybe they want it to be a little bit more professional. They might want you to have any sources listed. And obviously, if you have questions, never hesitate to reach out to your faculty. That's definitely something that you want to do. If you read the assignment requirements and you're still not sure, and you haven't seen any other specific directions or expectations from your faculty, just reach on out to them. Ask them if there's something in particular that they want to see. And then you can get started. So right here, we have blog hop. That's basically kind of what I've coined the term. Essentially, what I'm talking about is go check out different blogs that are out there. I mean, that should definitely be something that's part of your research as you're new to blogging and you want to get some ideas. Maybe you want to get some like style tips, or maybe you've never even seen a blog before and you really just need to have that visual in order to get yourself started. So as you can see on the screen, what I have right now is a blog from VESC. It's Virtual Education Support Center. It's actually one of the centers at North Central University, and they have a blog on ncu.edu. This right here is one of their most recent blogs that they've put out. And as you can see, they talk about things from their own perspective, right? So I was exactly 15 and a half to the day when my great-grandmother turned 100 years old. So it's very, very personal. So it is kind of like a journal style diary type situation. And again, I just want to stress, make sure that that's something that's okay with your instructor, your faculty member, before you go ahead and write that way. But doing some blog hopping is a great way to determine different styles that are out there, different writing styles, different formats. You can get, ideas of what people are writing about. So it's great. Definitely make sure that you go check out some blogs. And Esther, I just want to stop a moment here and see if we have any questions thus far.
I do have one question. I think this is in relation to you stating to reach out to your professor if you have questions. The question is, what if your instructor doesn't respond in a timely manner?
In that situation, not just, in regards to a blog assignment, but if your faculty member doesn't respond to you in a timely manner, I would definitely read through the assignment requirements again, make sure that you follow those instructions to a T. And then if you ever have any concerns about, lack of faculty response, you can definitely take it to your school leadership and let them know. Just remember that the faculty do have specific, requirements of when they're supposed to respond to students. So definitely don't wait until the last minute. But if you are, ahead of the game and you're not getting a response in a timely manner, feel free to kick it up the chain. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to support you. And if you think that your blog assignment isn't going to meet the requirements because you haven't heard back from your faculty member, definitely reach out and don't wait.
Thank you.
I hope that helped. Okay, perfect. I am going to continue on. We're going to go through a few more slides. We're going to look at some of the sites that we're about to talk about in an internet browser, and then we're going to ask for questions again. So you'll have another chance to ask questions if you have any. So now we're going to get into choosing your blog site. And there are so many out there. But what you want, what you need really determines the site that you want to sign up with. So a lot of people will build their own website and use it to blog, right? Some people will just want to blog. They don't want all that extra information. They don't need their own website. So you have to ask yourself, do you want your own domain? Can you work with a subdomain? Or are you just looking to write? There are a couple sites where basically you can have your own domain. That's something that basically you would have to pay for, or you can just have a free subdomain of the site. If you just want to write, you're going to be looking specifically for a blog site and not so much a website builder. And then your technical skill and capabilities should definitely be something that you want to take into consideration. Some of the websites have very easy functionality when it comes to editing. They've got drag and drop features. And so, all you have to do really is click a few things, make a few changes, and boom, you're ready to go. But there are other sites that require a lot more of a technical capability. So, make sure that you consider that as well. And part of that whole technical skill and capability, can you build your website freeform? Do you have that, experience to be able to do that? Or do you just want to use a template and make the changes that you need and add your information? And then another thing, do you want this just for personal use? Do you want it for professional use? Are you considering, blogging from, here on until, whenever in the future? Is it just a one-time thing where, you want to get through your assignment, which is totally understandable. Blogging definitely isn't for everyone. So, consider exactly what you want for that. If it's just to get, through the assignment, then you can work with one of the sites that has a subdomain versus an actual domain. But if it's going to be for professional use, if you're going to build a website, you're going to have a blog, you're going to be expecting a lot of traffic, you might want to have your own domain. Now, all of that being said, we have to keep in mind that some of those sites do charge fees to sign up and host. So that's something that whenever you're looking at the blog site, make sure that you're reading all the fine print and you know what you're signing up for. So I'm going to go through the next 3 slides are going to be specific to blog sites. Wix and Weebly are the first 2. I have personal experience with both. They are very similar. They offer a free website builder. So this is one of those situations where if you want to have an e-portfolio, which is basically what I've created with Wix and Weebly. I have an e-portfolio that portrays all my different work that I've done for anyone who comes to my site. They can kind of see what my skill set is. But they also offer a blog section specifically on their site, and they're great. They're so easy to use for anyone who's not technically inclined. They just have that drag and drop functionality. They give you a template. They have layouts, and you can even change the layouts a little bit if you want. And you just use the WYSIWYG editor. The nice thing is you don't have to be a coder to use these sites. and you have the option to have a subdomain on Wix or Weebly, or you can upgrade and get your own domain. So you can build a site, build your whole website plus your blog on Wix and Weebly. And then you can, if you want, link your domain if you already have one, and then it'll be your professional site. Now, Medium is a little bit different. So Medium, it's not a website builder. And when we go to the internet pages, you'll kind of see what I mean. So you don't build your own website like Wix or Weebly. You know, Weebly and Wix, they can do a bunch of different things, but Medium is specifically for blogging. Anybody can sign up. You're not building your own website. You're not building your own space. So whatever content you put into the site stays on Medium. If like the writing itself is what you want, you don't care about your own space, you just want to write, and this may be what you decide to do for your assignment. Medium is a great site to use because it has a built-in audience. You know, it's only blogging, right? People go to this website, they're looking for blogs specifically. They're not looking for a person necessarily. They just want the content and the information. Now, the last one that I want to talk about is Blogger. So Blogger it's a bit like Wix and Weebly, where you can create a site for your personal use. It does not have as many customizations available, and it does not have advanced design options. So Wix and Weebly kind of give you that, you know, full customization. You can kind of do whatever you want. Blogger has less options, but it still looks really good as a website. So basically you create your account. After you do that, you select one of their default themes. They don't have that many, but that's okay. They definitely have some options. But again, Blogger is focused more so on the writing itself. So you have your own space. It's mostly for writing. But one thing that I want to, you know, ensure everyone understands is you have to use a Gmail account. So when you sign up with Blogger, it absolutely has to be a Gmail email account. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to exit out the presentation, and then we are going to go into some of these sites because I want you to see what I mean. Okay, so here's Wix. And just from the website right here, you can see, you know, this is a page. This is somebody's, you know, site that's been created. You have different options. You can have like a little bio section with about information for you. You know, if you are somebody who is selling items, maybe merchandise, you can have an option to shop. And then you have an option for blog. So Wix and Weebly are basically selling you, I guess I would put it, because you can highlight any of the work that you've completed. You can put your personal information in there. You can have people shop online for things, and then you can also have your blog. So signing up for Wix is very easy. You can just get started. You can come up here to sign in. You can see the different pricing. You don't have to use a free website builder, obviously. You can come in here and you can see the different options, whatever works for you. Or you can just do the free plan. You can do a business plan if you want. And then Weebly is very similar to what we were just looking at with Wix. You can build your own website. It has a lot of the same information. You know, you've got your home page. You can create a page where people can shop items. You can create a page just for your blog. On here, you can see that we've got events. They've got an Our Story. So you can add different pages to your website for whatever you need. And then just like Wix, you can go up here, you can check out the pricing. I just have a free account. I'm fine with a subdomain, but they do have other options. And if you're somebody who is maybe looking to sell certain items on your site, then you're going to want to look perhaps for, you know, an upgraded site. So medium is what we were just talking about in regards to being just a blog site. You're not building your website. You're not trying to sell products. You're not even, you know, highlighting your accomplishments. You are just blogging. And you can see down here all the different blogs that they have right now. We've got trending up here. That would be super awesome. If any of you wrote a blog and we're suddenly trending, I think that would be great. But you can just come over here. You can start writing. You can sign up. It says Google, Facebook, or with email. And all you're doing is putting in your information. You're just writing. That's the main focus of this site, right? So we've got somebody right here. She's got her blog. There's nothing in here where you know, go and you are looking at her work. You're not trying to buy anything from her. It's just the writing. Now, Blogger, and I want to stay on this for just a second because what it's doing right now on the screen, you're seeing it basically run through all of its different themes. Like I said, there's not as many options with Blogger, but they do have decent design templates. And it really is focusing on your blog. So aesthetically, it's, you know, pleasing. Obviously, you can come in here, you can take a look at it. It's free, you know, just depending. And all you're doing is creating a nice blog with some design to it. So those are our sites. I am coming back to the PowerPoint. Okay. I threw a lot of information at you. I know I did. And what I want you to know is, you know, I went over 4 sites. Those are definitely not the only ones out there. And it all depends on, you know, those questions that we asked, you know, your technical capability. Is it personal? Is it professional? And you know, what you're willing to pay. Are you willing to pay for something? Are you looking for a domain? Here are some other sites that I have found. I have not checked any of these out personally, but I wanted to put them on here just so that you knew that there were other options out there. You want to make sure that whatever it is fits your needs, and is something that you're comfortable, you know, signing up with. Obviously, you know, these days you sign up for something, everybody wants, you know, all your personal information. You make sure you read the fine print, make sure you understand the terms and settings and, you know, whatever agreement that you're getting into. That's definitely important. And I want to talk about domain a little bit. When we talk about, you know, domain, we're talking about, like, if I have my own website, I've bought the domain www.jennajohnson.com. If you're doing a subdomain, let's say with Wix and Weebly, I have a subdomain with them. You can choose a subdomain on either site. And what I'm basically talking about is, instead of having jennajohnson.com as my domain, I would be jennajohnson.weebly.com or jennajohnson.wix.com. So the actual site itself, the domain, is Wix or Weebly. And I'm basically just like a a subdomain. I'm just like a page within their information. So, if you're looking for, something more professional, you're probably going to want to go with, your own domain, but obviously that comes with a cost and, certain, restrictions and things like that. But for your blog assignment, if you just, like I said, want to get through the assignment, you want to make sure that you meet all the requirements, you're going to post the blog up once and then you are done, do a subdomain. And then, it'll just be, first name dot last name and .weebly.com. Or you can have it be something that's, more specific to whatever the page is, right? Maybe you're writing about your, dissertation process. So you're going to put, dissertation writing.weebly.com would be your subdomain. So hopefully that helps to explain domain and subdomain a little bit better. Okay. So you've done your assignment. You got a great grade on it. And then you realize, I kind of enjoy doing that blogging. So you ask, to blog or not to blog? Do I keep blogging? Obviously, this is entirely up to you. I mean, you may come across a couple of assignments that require you to do a blog. So maybe you just kind of keep the, whatever page up. Maybe you made a Weebly page and you just kind of keep it up for whenever you need to do another blog assignment. But maybe you realize you really enjoyed it, right? Maybe you're going to blog about politics or how to plant a garden from scratch. Like I said, earlier, maybe you want to blog about your doctoral journey. I mean, it's not everyone is in, a doctoral program, but a lot of people are. And, if you're blogging from a personal experience, explaining to people, what you've been through on this journey, being empathetic is, definitely a great thing, and people can really relate to you. So the next slide has some tips for beginners if you want to keep blogging. We've got 12 total. It has the website down at the bottom of basically where I got it. And this is, not necessarily questions to ask yourself, but really some of the steps and considerations that you want to think about. You've got to find the right market, really. You've got to find the topic that you think people are going to want to read about. You need to know who your readers are. You need to find out that target market of who your audience is going to be. You got to pick the right blogging platform. We just went through a couple of them, and then we had a list of some more. So pick the right one. Certain websites will allow you some plugins to make things a little bit more efficient. Number 5, headlines are critical. And this is definitely something that I've learned in all my research. I did a blog assignment for my master's program, and I didn't even know what a blog was. But the key was, when it comes to headlines, I mean, that's the big thing. That's the attention grabber right there. So you want to make sure that it is something catchy, something that is going to catch people's eyes and bring them in. Writing content that's, optimized for online readers. You don't want a whole bunch of paragraphs. You don't want a whole bunch of words. Sometimes you want to put in some pictures, make it, break it up a little bit for them. You want to make sure that you edit before you publish. And then one of the big things that they recommend when it comes to blogging is being consistent. If you're thinking about posting something in your blog every few days, stick to it, or if you commit to doing once a week, your readers, you're going to want to make sure that they know what to expect from you. And then number 9 really is for, if you want to go professional and you want to have a following, you got to build your email list. And then 10, again, same thing, if you want people to find your blog, you're going to want to make sure that you have the SEO in place. And then number 11, they talk about sharing your best on social media. They recommend just one platform, not all of them. And then they recommend that you find the right platform for your blog material. And then think long term, think down the road, what can I expect from this? So at the bottom here is actually where I got all of this information from. It was a great website with a whole bunch of information. I will ask Esther when she posts the recording to actually post the presentation as well, so that you have a copy of it. And then Esther, do you have any other questions for me?
We have lots.
Woo!
All right. So, and you just answered one of the questions, which was that you're going to allow me to post the presentation along with the recording. So I will be sharing that with you all. I'm not sure if you touched on this. I feel like you did, but it's here. How do you get a subdomain? Maybe not.
So the subdomain, it actually comes with like the website itself.
Okay.
So if you are creating a Wix website, you're going in, you're creating your own personal website, you're going to put your blog on it. When you go in to basically save it and publish it, Wix is going to ask you, and Weebly will too. They'll ask you, do you want to link your domain if you already have one, or do you want to create a new one? And then at first, I personally didn't understand what it was even asking me. So I just typed something in, and then I realized that's not what I wanted my website to be called. So I could go back and edit it and actually make changes to my subdomain itself. And then that's how you get the, that's how you get the, jennajohnson.weebly.com. So Jenna Johnson is the subdomain of the domain weebly.com. I hope that helped.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next question. We're getting a couple of people asking for specific recommendations for, okay, so I know you mentioned different blog, where you can get blog sites.
Mm-hmm.
They're also asking about vlogs with the V as
video blogs. Okay.
Any recommendations for vlogs? And then there's another question, how about a vlog? So I guess they're asking.
I haven't done any personal research on vlogs. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, I don't know if some of these websites will allow you to do a vlog. Most of what I've come across is specific to blogging, but I know in, like Wix and Weebly, because it is also a website builder, they both are, you can add different content. So like I said, when I built my Wix account, it really was building an e-portfolio. I didn't even know that they had blog capabilities. I built it because I wanted to showcase all of the different projects that I have worked on. I wanted to highlight all my accomplishments. So you could actually add different media to those pages and put in, a video of you, or you can look specifically for video blog or video vlog sites. Sorry, I haven't done any research on that.
No worries. Okay, let's see. Can blogging be used as research gathering?
You mean as in like citing a source?
I'm not quite sure.
That I'm not 100% sure about, as far as, being able to cite the source, because it is typically from a personal aspect or personal perspective. I think it would be good, if you have a specific question that you're trying to answer, it's possible that they can, if you find a blog, you might find more information in there about it. They might actually list their sources. And so it's not necessarily, like a rabbit hole. If you find a blog that has important information, it could actually be like the stepping stone to more sources and more information for you for whatever you're researching.
All right. When creating a blog for an assignment, do you actually post it to the internet or simply submit it to the blog, submit the blog to the NCU site?
So I've actually seen it a couple of different ways. I have seen where somebody just, types it up in Word and they submit it to the Dropbox. I have seen students who post it in the Commons as their assignment. And then in the Dropbox, they'll include the link to their specific post. And I have also seen faculty members that provide a list of recommended sites for you to go post your blog. So that's why at the beginning, I really wanted to stress, find out what the assignment requirements are and if your faculty has any additional expectations. They may be perfectly fine with you submitting it in a Word document. They may be perfectly fine with going to, the Commons because everyone has access to it. Or they may want you specifically to build your own blog site, and they may want to see it externally.
Thank you. And Jenna, you can let me know if you're ready to move on. We do have, let's see, probably at least 7 more questions.
I am here for the questions.
Okay. Let's see. Considering technical skills, knowledge, and capability with subject matters of creators and readers of blogs, what's the best way to find a blog appropriate for healthcare industry? Is there a list of the best blogs for business and healthcare?
I would absolutely go out to Google and search that.
Yeah.
Some of the options that you see on the screen right now, the WordPress, Ghost, Tumblr, those I actually found by doing a search on, best blogs. I believe they came off of a site about best blogs for 2022. So I don't specifically know about all of those, but they were in like the top 10 list. WordPress.org and WordPress.com gets a little confusing for me because they're similar, but one of them is, self-hosted and charges a fee. I can tell you that last slide where I went over the 12 tips, it did seem to be a little bit like it leaned a little bit towards WordPress. So if you read through that website, you're going to see them talk about WordPress a lot. But there's like two different kinds of WordPress, I guess I would say. One is like a website. One also has some of like the technical functionality for you to actually add to your blog on another website. So I would 100% go out there and, just type in, best blog platform for business and healthcare and see what comes back.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Can a blog be both personal and professional?
I think it could technically be both. I mean, even from a professional perspective, you may be writing from a personal aspect, right? You may be writing using the word I in all of your personal experiences. When I say professional, I mean more towards it being, like something you do full time, possibly something that you earn income from, or it could just be personal. You may earn income from, a personal blog as well. So I think it could technically be both.
Thank you. Let's see. Does blogging give you an opportunity to dialogue with others?
It does, because some of the blog sites, I think probably most of the ones that I've come across, actually have that, comment section or like a Q&A section at the bottom. where some of your readers can put in their comments or ask questions. And then as the blogger, you could come back in and you could, answer their questions. You could provide additional information. So it's a lot like, a thread, really. You post the initial blog, but you do have commenters and you can, continue that conversation.
There is, I think there's two questions that are mostly similar in terms of like sites. Can you have accounts on multiple sites? And also, if you create a free trial and then upgrade, do you lose the domain?
So when it comes to multiple sites, I know that you can. I have a Wix and a Weebly site. Those are the two website builders. I don't have an account with, like Blogger or Medium, but I am sure that it's not a problem. You wouldn't lose necessarily. Okay. So if you do sign up with a subdomain and then you later decide to link a domain, your subdomain does technically disappear because now you're using a domain. So if you were, jennajohnson.weebly.com before, you would really want to be directing people to your domain instead, which might be jennajohnson.com. So your subdomain, I don't 100% know if Wix and Weebly have like redirects in there for somebody who types in your subdomain, but I would think that more than likely it would go away completely because you're linking your domain.
Okay, we still have more questions. We have more questions coming in. All right.
All right.
Let's see. Do sites allow e-commerce opportunities?
Yes, they do. They do have some of the sites like Wix and Weebly, they have that shop option, or the buy. Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Esther?
Yes, I hear you.
All right. I went ahead, I stopped sharing and I turned off my camera because I want to make sure that you can at least hear me.
Okay.
So they do have that e-commerce option. So you have the shop or the buy option. Maybe you have merchandise, maybe it's services, that you're selling. I don't currently have that on either one of my sites, but I imagine in order for you to get it, you probably would want to upgrade from the free in order to get the e-commerce capability.
Outside of teaching requirements, how long should a blog be in general?
I have seen a couple of different recommendations, but one that really stuck out to me is that blogs should be at least 500 words. 1,500 is preferred. So at least 500 words, 1,500, if you really got a lot to talk about.
All right. Okay, we're moving through. If you have a blog assignment in different classes, do you have to use a different site for each blog assignment?
No, I definitely wouldn't think so at all, because you're creating a blog, right? So you'll have different blog posts. So let's say, in class A, you have specific parameters around the blog that you're creating. You would go to your site, you would put in your blog information, you type all that in, and then that fulfills the assignment requirements for class A. Class B is going to have different assignment requirements. So you would just go back to your blog and you would do a new post. So you would have a link for the post for each one of the posts that you could actually put in the assignment directions.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, where can someone go if they need help blogging?
I would say we do have some resources in, I believe it's the Academic Success Center. And let me see if I can find it real quick. There's a video, there's some more information about it. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, perfect. Here it is. Esther, I'm going to share my screen again real quick.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so in the Academic Success Center, when you're on the home page, you can actually go to writing resources. And then under types of writing assignments, we've got writing a blog. So we've got some more information on what a blog is, what it can include, a checklist, more information on what site to choose, and then a video as well. And you know what? I will pop this in the chat real quick. Okay. Yep, I just placed that in the chat real quick for everybody.
And I have one question in the Q&A. Also, by the way, guys, if you, everyone, if you have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A so that I can answer them. Is there a blog that you would recommend that would be good for assignments as well as future professional use? Maybe something that can be connected to a newsletter somehow?
If you're looking to continue to blog, you know, if you want to make this a definite part of the future, and you want to make it professional, I would probably look more towards Wix or Weebly and even Blogger. So Medium, like I said, you're basically like hosting on their site. You're not building your own space. Your content is on Medium. The only thing about Medium, though, is it does come with its own like built-in audience. But Wix and Weebly, you can really create your own site. So not just a blog, but you can create your own website that showcases everything about you, and then include your blog as well. I am going to. Yeah, I think that more than likely one of those. I have in my research also heard that WordPress is a good one as well. I don't know if it's the .com or the .org, but that is one that is, you know, self-hosted and you have to pay for. So you just have to keep that in mind. Oh, it looks like we got a chat saying both. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep, WordPress is awesome. I have definitely seen a lot of recommendations for it. I can tell you that. And I'm going to share, I know we have a little bit of time left. I just want to share my screen. This is my Weebly site. You can see I've, pulled in some pictures. I am not done with Weebly. Weebly is the most recent one that I have worked on. So you will see that it's not finished. Please don't judge me. But, you can put your information in here. You can add a bunch of different buttons. If you want to showcase your work, you can have my work. You can have, contact me. You can have a bio area. You could even put a little, button on here to get to your blog. And then all of these items, it's so easy to do. So Wix and Weebly are the two that have the WYSIWYG, and you have that drag and drop functionality that I think is fantastic. So you just come in here and you make your changes, and it takes them. You come in here, you drop in a new photo down at the bottom. So we've got the quote. If you're looking to add a page, like you want to add your blog page, you would just come up here to pages, and you can add a new page, and you can tell it blog page. It's as easy as that. And then down at the bottom, it says, I don't have any blog posts. I know, thank you. But then you can put information about the author. You can do a new post. So I'm telling you, it is so easy. And then you can see at the top here, now, because I've added a blog page, I can go home or I can go to blog. So this is, what your audience, your viewers will see. And then you can add pages for all kinds of stuff. So I just wanted to show you how easy it was.
We have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have stock photos? I'm assuming the most recent site that you just showed, does it have stock photos?
Actually, those photos, I think they have some stock photos, yes. But more often than not, when I am looking for photos to use, I actually use pexels.com. And that's something you'll see in the presentation. You'll see, image by pexels.com. It is a great site. You get a lot of, free downloads for different, you can do videos, you can do pictures. And then they do have some like little ads for, Shutterstock in there as well. So you might come across something that you really like, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, it's Shutterstock. I have to pay for it.
Awesome.
I'm going to put that in the chat. Oops, it looks like I did that to not everyone. Okay.
Yep, I see it to everyone. Let's see. Okay, understanding blogging is typical. Oh, this is another question. Understanding blogging is typical of an expression of your authentic self or your authentic professional self in light of some professions that follow ethical guidelines and regulations. Licensed professionals, do you know if there are bloggers who write professionally who use a pseudonym?
I don't know of anyone personally, but I do know that that is common. I would say probably given how comfortable people are, or maybe they want to protect their privacy. It is definitely common to have somebody do that.
I could definitely see that happening. Okay, and I think that was the last question, at least that I have here. Are there any more questions? All right, Jenna, did you have anything else you'd like to add?
I don't. I think the only thing I want to say is, thank you everybody for coming. I certainly hope that it was helpful. Esther's going to put the presentation up there with the recording. Definitely note down the Academic Success Center page so you have that. And then, feel free at any time if you need help. You can always chat with the CTL, the alumni navigators. Reach out to us. We're here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenna. We'd like to take this time to thank Jenna Johnson for taking the time to present, and thank you to the attendees for joining us today and being active in the chat and the Q&As. As a reminder, the recording will be posted in the CTL LibGuides within 24 hours. Thank you for coming and have a great day.